Happy spring, everybody. It's Brian Burkhart with Rockaway Sustainable Landscaping here for your April update. And it's a beautiful, beautiful spring day right now. It was a kind of chilly spring this morning and a raw, kind of windy day yesterday. So that's weather in Florida. I think they say if you don't like the weather, just wait an hour. It's definitely our spring transition month where we're officially into grow. Our crews are mowing, edging, weed eating weekly, and the grass is starting to grow between the fertilizer we put down in March, which is a granular product, the increased light and the warmer temperatures, both in the air and in the soil. Everything sort of starts to come to life in March, and even more so now going into April. Another week and most of that nice spring green will start to turn into that darker green of summer. The most important or pressing thing to talk about right now is the current drought. Depending on which sources you look at, we're 14 to 20 inches below where we should be. I saw a statistic a couple days ago that it will take 14 inches of rain in a 30-day period for us to get out of the drought. And in my going on 23 years here in Jacksonville, that is the most extreme drought that I can remember. I've lived through a few here in Jax, but that one is definitely the most extreme. And the only one that I can remember that had such drastic drought watering restrictions. So if you don't know or you did not hear, St. Johns River Water Management District has extended 1 day a week irrigation scheduling to all water consumers. That includes JEA's Southern Reclaimed customers. Due to the amount of potable water that's in the reclaim system that's supplying water to Nocatee Beach Walk, the newer developments that are supported by JEA, they have to follow the St. Johns River Water Management District restrictions. So all of our commercial and residential properties, be it private wells, reclaimed water, or potable water, are all being kept at 1 day per week. We have set up cycle and soak watering, which means we have cut your runtime down to about half of what we normally would do, and we're running our programs back to back. For a spray zone, say it'll water for 10 minutes and then go through the rest of the program, and then come back, and right after that program starts, it'll run again for another 10 minutes. So while normally we would run, 10 zones, one after the other for say 20 minutes on sprays and 45 to 60 minutes on rotors, we're just having it run twice. This allows that water that we're putting out initially to soak into the ground. A lot of our soils here in Jacksonville gets a little hydrophobic between waters, especially when you have a whole week between it and it's this hot. So that initial blast will kind of break that barrier so that the water can actually penetrate into the soil and into the root growth or the root zone for the plants and the sod. So just our way that we could maximize efficacy with the small amount of water that we have. So normally this time of the year is our dry season. We are in a drought, but it's still our dry season no matter what, even if we were not in a drought, which means we get minimal rain until the summer rains start. We always have difficulty with irrigation during the spring dry season. Everything's using a lot of water, sucking up a lot of water to try and put out its spring growth and get green and start growing. And just it uses a lot more water than it would. And then the air is dry and there's not a lot of rain. So it's kind of just challenging our landscape for months on end. Obviously, with 1 day a week watering, that's going to even be more so. We have to be a good steward, and we want to be a good steward, so we're following these restrictions. But it will mean that some grass is going to get toasty. There's going to be stressed turf. There'll probably be some turf loss. We're hoping that we get a rainstorm, with decent coverage every 7 to 10 days. That should minimize the damage. But really only time will tell. We are doing a few things to pivot due to the drought agronomically. In March, we put down a granular fertilizer to help with green up. In April, we typically put a second granular fertilizer with a pre-em. So we usually put a granular fertilizer that also has something to help with the weed growth. With the lack of rain, We don't really want to, and the drought restrictions, we don't really want to push a ton of growth. We have the ability, at our size where we could pivot. And so normally next Wednesday would be starting our April program of the granular fert. We're going to leave our granular fert in our warehouse, and we're going to do a liquid application next month with some root nutrients, some iron, some nutrients to keep things green, but not necessarily promote so much growth, which hopefully will minimize the amount of water it needs a little bit. And we're also going to put, instead of a pre-emergent or the pre-emergent prodiamine that we normally use, we're going to switch to spectacle. The reason we're switching to spectacle is because typically what happens when you have drought stress turf is that, it thins out, and then when we start to get rain or we can water more, the first thing to pop back is sedge, and that will take over and outcompete St. Augustine in those bare areas. So by putting down the spectacle, which is a pre-emergent specifically for sedges, we're hoping that when Mother Nature helps us out and starts giving us some reliable rain, and that we can start watering again, that we give the grass enough time to fill in and repair itself and not get overtaken by sedge. So that's what we're doing agronomically. Now, some of you will ask, what are we going to do with that granular fertilizer that's sitting in our warehouse? Well, we're not going to let it go to waste, of course. What we're going to wait to do is we're going to watch Mother Nature. We're going to watch the drought restrictions. And when we can be watering again, when we start to get, adequate rain, we're going to use that granular fertilizer then, which will really, the granular fertilizer is going to, live in that soil and really be there for the sod and for the turf, so that it can start to repair itself once it gets the moisture that it needs to do so. Only time will tell, but there'll probably still be some sod replacement needed, depending on your patience level. In my experience, St. Augustine, when it stresses in the beginning of the season like this, usually does, if you give it enough patience, fill in and recover by the end of the season. Some of that will just be really depend on your patience and budget. The irrigation guys are going to be out there making sure that our systems are working efficiently, that the coverage is good, minimizing hot spots and anywheres that might not be getting proper coverage. Again, so that one watering a week can do the most that, the most that we can. Our annuals will be swapped out the second week in April. This year, for most of our properties, we're using beautiful blue salvias, yellow marigolds, and green leaf white begonias, which is similar to our rotation last spring, and which we really liked. And I think this is going to be a great one as well. We will be watering as needed for the new plantings. They have not changed any restrictions for new plantings. New sod, new plantings are still allowed to be watered every day for 30 days and every other day for 60 days or 30 days after that. Your account managers will be, doing their site walks, and look for that. Our site walks on a monthly basis are really twofold. We're looking for things that could enhance your property through a proposal for extra work, looking for safety issues or hazard trees that might need taken down, but also looking for quality issues so that we can get those to our crews and make sure that our properties are looking as tight and as good as they can.